Hi, welcome to my channel, and this is my autism diagnosis journey. So, this is the first video I film where I directly film myself, so I'm a bit nervous and I'm sorry if I seem strange. I am also not neurotypical, so yeah. Basically, on this new channel that I created here, I will talk about autism. I will create art that you will see while I'm talking. I will bring in my med school experience since I'm a med student. And I will tell you how it is to be autistic in med school. Yeah, so let's start. I was diagnosed very recently, but I knew for over 1.5 years now that it's probably very definitely autism, and it helped me to watch other YouTube videos, so I thought I'm going to share my experience and give you my input too. As being a med student, that might help, and being an artist, you might be interested in this different kind of way of videos. So basically, I was always autistic, but I never knew until 1.5 years ago. I had mental health problems. I had some kind of problems all my life. I always called it stomach aches, or I hid behind my best friend in the earlier years. My best friend is amazing, and we still are best friends since kindergarten, where I met her around the first day. My memory isn't that correct, probably. I thought I met her on the first day, but maybe not. I hated going to the kindergarten. I hated being with new people. Like, my mom isn't there, my grandmother who cared for me isn't there. Like, why exactly should I do that? But yeah, I was kind of forced to. And then I met my best friend, and she became my new outside mom, basically. And I had her for a long time, and that helped me. Though some changes, especially changes, led to stomach aches or general feeling unwell being. Yeah, that's probably important, guys. English is not my mother language, so main language. There it is. As you can see, I might use some different words and stuff. That's because my main language is German. So yeah, please be nice with me. Yeah, anyway, so my kindergarten friend became my protection, but it still wasn't always enough. I had rough times when I changed school, and rough times when I needed to change subjects in school. That's a little different in Austria, but not that important now. But then my best friend and I parted ways school-wise because she was more interested in a different school than I was. I'm more the sciencey girl, and she liked history and languages and stuff. So we parted ways in high school, because the high school system is also different here, but anyway. And at first that was... I didn't think it was a problem. I told myself it isn't, but there was something under the surface which kind of creeped up a little more, and that was anxiety. And anxiety hit me hard, I'm not gonna lie. I had very rough times. In the second year of high school, had a time where I couldn't even go out of my bed. I had obviously depression at the time too, and I didn't know about all the help that I could get. I felt so alone and terrible. I don't wish anyone to ever feel like that, but it's probably happening a lot out there. So here's this video to hopefully help you. There are resources out there there are resources in the internet, there are hospitals, there are local therapists and group therapy where you can go. There's a lot of stuff, and I seeked for help. I seeked for different therapists that are kind of around my home, and I wasn't that sure. I didn't feel that comfortable, which is normal. You never did that. But obviously I didn't know nothing about this, so yeah. I went to the hospital because I have a local hospital with a psychiatry, and they kind of told me where I could go and checked on me every week or so, I think. But all of this didn't really help. Like, they didn't really tell me that it's going to get better with help. They were just like, and how do you feel? And do you have any suicide thoughts and stuff? I mean, that's important to ask, but I didn't really get the feeling that there is going to be hope and help. So I went home every time and felt the same way. I went to a doctor, which is a psychiatrist, and asked him for help. I wrote down stuff that I feel so badly and that I didn't know how it could be any help out there, and he basically just told me, oh, take that pill and it will be fine. And it wasn't fine with that pill. Yeah, it went so bad that I needed to be in the hospital full time, and I hated it. I don't know how it is for other autists, but I hate the change of the place where I sleep, because that's kind of my secure, safe space where I can put down all of the guards and unmask completely. And that isn't the case in the hospital, because there are constantly people coming in and it's not really my place and I don't have the full control. So I hated it and it went worse there. But after fighting for being able to get back home, they weren't really interested in helping me in a different way. They only wanted me to be there for the full time, stationary, or nothing at all. So I said, well, it has to be nothing at all then. Sorry, I got interrupted. So while I was walking out of the hospital, a nurse or someone came to me and said, there is a program where you're just here for the days of the week and the rest you spend at home. And I was like, yeah, sure. I really want help. I just don't want to sleep there. And that's how I came into the Tagesklinik. I unfortunately have no idea what's that called in English. But that's how that happened. And it was horrible there. And I don't want to say that hospitals are the wrong thing. They aren't. And the help there can be super, super great. But I was a female autistic teenager and nobody there noticed. Nobody the whole time. I had a horrible psychologist which hated me, which was also not very helpful. And I can go in full detail of that story later on. I can make a full video about it. But basically no one detected anything, and it was just a behavior disorder, some stuff that they gave me, which made no sense at all. And when the program was finished there, I wasn't feeling any better. Basically, I just came to acceptance that that's going to be my life from now on. And yeah, so I came out of the hospital and they told me I need to search a therapist somewhere. So that's what I did, and fortunately it was a great one. She also sent me to a group therapy, which was amazing. I love group therapy. It's just a bunch of people that feel like you and maybe have experienced some stuff and already feel better or are lower than you in their like experience about therapy, and you can basically help each other, and you have a therapist there which helps you help each other, and it's just amazing for me. So that's what I had for I think 2 years, and it helped me, but autism was never a thing. Like, I didn't even know that. Really, by then I thought that's kids who can speak, and yeah, you know, the basic typical things about autism that are out there that I hope to change with this channel. And so yeah, I decided to stop my medication at that point and be very, very sure that you have a good psychiatrist. Like, that's so important. I had a bad one that wasn't even like caring about the medication. I'm very tiny and very petite, and yeah, I don't need much medication. And as you know, autists can react different. Oh, as you might not know, autists can react different to medication. They can react higher or lower to it. And less medication was needed for me at that time, with the medication I got. And the psychiatrist didn't know that, and he didn't really care. As I said, I want to stop the medication. He was like, yeah, like, take half of them for 1 week and then only every second day and you'll be good. Guys, never do that, okay? On my birthday, the medication stopped to be in my system, and anxiety and depression hit me so hard. That was the worst birthday ever. I was in school that day and I ran to the toilet just to sit there and think, will I survive this? Am I going to die? And I managed to do it thanks to friends who were like, life goes on. Anxiety can make you feel like there's nothing that is not scary out there, and depression can make you feel like it's not important anyway. Nothing is really important and everything is shit. So I felt like sitting there until like life is over. But there was a tiny spark of hope in me that said, no, we will find a way to live. And spoiler alert, I found a way to live with it. And I'm very happy now, but let's go on with the story. I was very disappointed in the system and how help goes, because I thought, like, what even should that be like? That's not helping at all. That's just telling me I'm happy until I don't take the pills anymore, and then I feel the same like before. And I swore to myself I will never take pills again because they are just horrible. And I went to therapy and I realized that's not helping. So I stopped everything. And for some reason, I decided to do it on my own. I was like, I'm going to find a way, and apparently this is not working. But anyway, the thing is, I have winter depression. And after 1 year without therapy, winter depression hit hard, which basically made me realize I need therapy again. And I went to my therapist and I felt defeated. I felt like I failed. And even though she tried to tell me that's just a little setback, everything will get better again, I didn't feel like. And I tried to seek help with her, and she talked with me about things. And I went and stayed with her for, I think, 2 years. Anyway, in that time period, something happened. In some way that I feel is too private to tell it here, we both were focused on a topic, autism. We both heard it in a session, and then we both went home, and in the next session we both were like, well, this could be a thing. And she also was like, that's why nothing I tell you ever works. And I was like, so this thing is not completely failing on me, and I'm not a medical wonder that just can't get help from the system. I'm just treated the wrong way. And that made me so happy at first. I was like, all makes sense now. That's why. And then I went home and I told people because I was so happy. And people were like, so are you ever going to marry? Or will you ever have a job then? Or like, what's now? And that hit me hard. And I was like, will I ever? Is this the end of my life now? Am I going to always live with my parents and never achieve anything? Well, no. But I didn't know that at first. Like, I had a breakdown and I went to my therapist and told her that I feel like this is all horrible. And she was like, well, maybe it's not true. It was just an idea I had. And yeah, I went to get diagnosed. And in between that time, I discovered autism YouTube. And that was great. I realized autism isn't all that bad. It has its strengths. It has its weaknesses. And you need to work on them and learn a way to live in a life that is just focused on neurotypical people and not really the neurodiverse community that I am a part of. But there are cool things about autism and bad things. And with that mentality, I went to get diagnosed. And the next thing, while you need to be in general very careful which people you seek out to get help from. I don't mean like don't get help. Really, really get help. That's so important. But don't take the first one you get, like I did with the psychiatrist and the diagnosis, because I got diagnosed with a personality disorder. She came the first meeting and she was like, that can't be autism. You're having some eye contact, like, can't be autism. She was just focused on things that are so out of date, like, seriously. I do make eye contact because I trained myself to, and now I can't stop anymore. Like, when people are looking at me and seeking my eye contact, then I will automatically do it because it feels as uncomfortable as looking them in the eye it feels when they are trying to get my eye contact. So I'm just doing it. Or I'm focusing on that part of their face and they don't really realize that I'm not looking them in the eye. So yeah, there are a lot of stereotypes out there, and unfortunately the psychologists also believe them still. So I was depressed and I try to get myself out of that community because I'm just not a part of it. And then I still reach out to the autism help community that we have here in Austria and said, I have this personality disorder and it's very similar to autism. Maybe you want to help me too? And they said, yes, we can help you too. That's very similar. It will work out. And that's how I found my newest therapy group. And I'm very happy there. And they told me I am autistic, like I'm very autistic. The therapist there was like, there's no doubt you are autistic. So I went to seek help again, and this time I found a psychologist that was trained in diagnosing autism in girls and adult girls, like what's the name? Females? I'm sorry. The thing that I am. Anyway, he was amazing. He listened to me and he knew so many studies and told me like a ton of people that are autistic are actually in the medical field. So you are definitely not alone with that. And I was very happy to hear that, because you want to feel like you are doing the right thing. And now I feel like I'm where I want to be. And this channel is also something that makes me happy. I hope I find a little community here that maybe needs that help that I can give, because I want to give help, and that likes the art that I create, like, and put in there. And yeah, he diagnosed me with autistic spectrum condition. He said it's not called disorder. He doesn't really think that we should call it something that's so negatively, because there are strengths even though there are weaknesses, and autism isn't really like a disease. It's just being different, feeling the world in a different way, and that doesn't make us less good. That only makes us different. And that's fine. We don't all have to be the same. And I know my face is dark here and light here. I'm still trying to work out the setup, and yeah. I am not done yet. I want to focus on one last thing. If this video goes out to more people than I think, then guys, listen. If you're here because you're autistic, or you think you might be autistic, or you want to learn about autism, you are very welcome here, and I hope I don't disappoint you with my content. But if you had a horrible day and you clicked on this video and you saw, that seems like a new artist, that seems like a weak person, let's throw my shit on there and let's be mean to autistics because I don't think that's a thing, or I don't blah 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 blah. No. I won't let that happen here. I tell you. I might have a sensitive heart, and that might be something you can use, but I won't let it happen. I won't let this hurt other people, and that's the most important thing to me, so I will just block you, and it won't be able to be seen by any other person than me, and I will find a way to work with that, because I know that you are the one who needs to work on yourself and not I. And if you are here to critique my English accent, then I'm trying my best, so... And if you have any critiques that are nicely worded, then that's fine. I may have trouble, like, working with critique. That's a very autistic thing, and I'm working on it. But yeah. And then I will say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Thank you for trying to learn something about autism. My next videos will be focused on what is autistic, how was med school and autism working out, how is autism in the pandemic working out, and stuff like that. Art and autism, there is a bunch of things I can make. The next videos will come once a month, so that I can have regular content, because I like regular things, also very autistic. And I still have time to like focus on med school and stuff because it isn't easy. Anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you had fun. And if you want to subscribe, then here you can. And there will be no recommended video here because I don't have any recommended video, so that's an empty space here. But it will be filled next time. Yeah. And that's it. Bye!